Wednesday show. Wednesday show. Wednesday show. I don't know if you can hear me or if you're even there. Well, we do have a Robert. He says hi-yo, and hi-yo to you too, sir. Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing out there? Waiting on a Brent Dodge. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. How's everyone doing? Are you guys doing good? I got home from the park. My parents are in town. This is their last week in town. And I got home and the internet was out. And I was like, ah. So I just got back up. I was having some technical problems. So I'm hoping that everything's going to be okay. The internet people were down the street when I pulled into the complex about half an hour ago. So I'm hoping that we don't have any issues today. So just knock on wood. And we'll see. But today we're going to be continuing our Disney bracket series, which we all love and we all know. And so let's get this party started. We're going to be starting our 812th episode of the Wednesday show in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 812th episode of the Wednesday show. Today is March 12th, right? Yeah, 12th, 2025. And I'm your host, as always, Brent Dodge. Hello. Today we're going to be going through and continuing our Disney bracket series where you are going to be putting your votes in so we can try to figure out what the best Disney soundtrack of all time is. I still have my thing right here with my prediction of what it's going to be since the very start. Will it be what I think it is? Who knows? We will find out as this evening goes on if the one that I have written on there is still in it. For all I know what I wrote in there, but I can't remember if the one I even wrote is in there or not. But we shall see as the evening goes on here. Okay, and of course, before we get to any of that, let's talk about our news for the week. First off, thank you everyone out there who's been joining us for our Saturday in the Park. If you didn't already know, every single Saturday we do a live broadcast from someplace found throughout the Walt Disney World Resort. You never know where we're going to be coming to you from, but I promise you, we'll always be coming to you live from Disney. So make sure you join us every single Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time over on my YouTube channel. And speaking of subscribers, let's take a look at our count. We are currently at 8,402 subscribers. Of course, as always, if this number goes up as our evening goes on, we will go into more and more extra innings as the night goes on here as well. So instead of ending at 10:30 and having it so that is the wrap on our votes, we might go into even more of our votes as the night goes on if this number starts to go up. So invite your friends, invite your enemies if you don't like the show, make them suffer too. And of course, as always, tonight's episode is sponsored by our wonderful, our super duper, our always incredible Patreon pals. Patreon pals. They are so amazing. If you're one of our Patreon pals out there in the chat room right now, give us an oh yeah. Okay, so right now we're starting off with not a lot of people watching, which means that maybe, just maybe, the thing that you want to go through might be easier for it to go through at the start here, or it also might have it so it's going to be more difficult. So let's get through it. There's our Patreon pals are chiming in the chat room there as well. So let's get to it as we go on here. We usually do get more and more people who are watching as the evening goes on. So possibly these votes may come down to the nitty-gritty later on. But right now, our first few rounds, it might be a little bit easier for you guys to have what you want moving on into the following rounds. So let's get this party started. I just got to shrink the screen down here a little bit on that part and pull up our bracket here. There we go. Okay. So we are currently, for those of you guys who are just joining us for this bracket series, we are currently in round 2 going into the Sweet 16. So we started off with 64 random Disney soundtracks provided by you guys on which ones you wanted to have in the starting line. And then as the entire thing has gone through, we went through the entire first round of 64, knocked it down to 32. Right now we are in the round of 32, knocking it into the Sweet 16 here. We still have 10 numbers that are out there that are waiting for you guys to choose it. So I need 2 numbers, the first 2 numbers to pop up in the chat room between the numbers of 1 and 10 to pop up. We'll be going head to head against one another. So throw 2 numbers out between 1 and 10, starting right now. First 2 numbers to pop up will be the ones going head to head against one another. Okay, we got number 7 there and number 10 are going to be the first 2 that popped up. Number 7 and number 10. Oh my gosh. I say this a lot during this thing, but this soundtrack thing, Disney has so many amazing soundtracks that it is, some of these things are amazing soundtracks, and it's tough to really choose between which ones are the better and which ones are the worst. I still see one that's on here that I just don't know how it made it to the second round, but it's here. But it's not one of the ones that we have in our first matchup here for the evening. So our first matchup is going to have it. So we are going head to head between kind of 2 people or 2 movies that kind of deal with gods, but not completely, if that makes sense. Let's explain it here. So first off, ooh, yeah. Bless my soul. Herc was on a roll. Of course, we're going to start off here with Hercules. He was a no one, a 0-0. Now he's a hot shot. He is a hero. Hercules has an amazing soundtrack on it, from things like Zero to Hero to one of the best love songs, in my opinion. No chance, no way. I won't say it, no, no. You sue, you sigh. Why deny it? Uh-oh. It's too cliche. You know, I won't say I'm in love. There are so many great songs in Hercules, and not just like the most popular ones, but we also have So You Want to Be a Hero, Kid? Well, whoop-de-doo. And in addition to all of those amazing songs that have great beat, great rhythms, great lyrics, we also have the crowning achievement of them all. I will find my way. I can go the distance. Hercules is a solid soundtrack from start to finish. It's just one of those things that the music really helps propel the story forward. However, going up against Hercules is another soundtrack that really propels the story. So let's talk a little bit about the history of this one, because I think it's kind of important that we talk about the history of this one before we actually get into it, because back in the olden days of Disney, back in the 1930s, 1940s, 1950s, 1960s, music was a very solid part of the storylines. And then slowly in the 70s and 80s, it started to slip away until the very end of the 80s, when Howard Ashman and Alan Menken came in and they said, you know what? You can't really go through and have it so you ignore music. Music can help propel the story forward. And they knocked it out of the park with the first project they ever worked on with Disney, which was The Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid is filled with so many amazing songs, starting at the very start with Fathoms Below, going into, Part of Your World, Under the Sea, Kiss the Girl. There are so many amazing songs that can be found in this soundtrack. However, now it comes down to you out there. Which one would you like to have move on to the next round? Is it either The Little Mermaid or Hercules? Remember, we are voting on the soundtrack, not on the movies themselves. Make sure you throw your votes in, starting right now. You've got about 90 seconds we're going to give you guys for this first vote here. 90 seconds, Hercules or The Little Mermaid soundtrack. Which one would you like to have move on to our next round? I still remember the Disney sing-along VHS. Me too. Oh, both of these soundtracks are amazing. I don't know what's going to happen if we get to a tie, because I do love both of these. I think I know which one I would vote for, but I think it's the one that not as many people would vote for. So we will see here as the vote goes on. And we have about 45 seconds of the vote. Robert sums it up pretty much. This one hurts. I think all of these really hurt. I think the soundtracks are just all so good at Disney movies that it's really difficult to choose which one to have move on. I think that's what makes the bracket series just so entertaining sometimes. No chance, no way. I won't say it, no, no. You sue, you sigh, why deny? Yeah, oh, it's too cliche. I won't say I'm in love. Doo doo, doo doo. 15 seconds left. Uh, okay, we got a few. Brendan, keep on freezing for a few seconds. If you guys missed it at the start, my internet was out when I got home a half an hour ago. So there is a chance that our whole complex apparently lost internet today. So it took them most of the day to get back up. Okay. I'm going to give you guys 3, 2, 1. We got 1 for Little Mermaid, 2 for Little Mermaid, 3 for Little Mermaid, 4 for Little Mermaid, 1 for Hercules. Right now it is a 4-1 vote. 5-1, that is a Little Mermaid there. 6-1 and 6-1. We have a few people who are watching that did not vote. However, the Little Mermaid is moving on to the next round here. Okay, I need two numbers between 1 and 8. Starting right now, for the first 2 numbers to pop up will be the ones that are going head to head against one another. 2 songs, 1 through 8, starting right now. All right, we got number 5, and number 5 will be going against number 6. 5 and 6 are going to be going head to head against one another here. Oh, this is an interesting one. This is a really interesting one. Let me just write them down here so we have it on the record. Okay. 5 against 6. Let's start us off, because not every time when we do these, we've talked about how a lot of these soundtracks are soundtracks specifically. A lot of these ones have it to, they're specifically geared towards movies. However, this one is actually geared towards non-movies. It's actually themed towards attractions over at the Magic Kingdom / Disneyland / California Adventure. There's a sneeze coming. I just can't get it out yet. I apologize. If it all of a sudden goes, no, wait. Let me know in the comments. Will I sneeze? Yes or no? Oh my gosh! Come on. I can feel the sneeze. Let me just take another swig of water here. Okay, let's just go to the vote. So the sneeze never came. Okay, so starting us off, back in 2003, we got a brand new attraction over at the Magic Kingdom. Eventually, it would make its way over to California Adventure. It also made its way over to Tokyo Disneyland as well. And it is one of those that has a soundtrack that is made up of multiple different soundtracks. It's a very unique thing that is on this list. This attraction, which had not just one soundtrack, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, but a lot more, consisted of soundtracks from Fantasia, The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Peter Pan, Encanto, and a whole lot more. Of course, we were talking about Mickey's PhilharMagic. The soundtrack for Mickey's PhilharMagic takes us on a whirlwind around the Disney classics, both old and new, while we are introduced to the idea of Donald Duck going through these different worlds while trying to retrieve a sorcerer's hat. Along the way, we hear songs like Be Odd Guest. We hear the Sorcerer's Apprentice from Fantasia. We also hear I Just Can't Wait to Be King from The Lion King. We hear Un Poco Loco from Encanto. We hear You Can Fly, You Can Fly, You Can Fly from Peter Pan. You also hear A Whole New World and Part of Your World. So there are so many different songs that are in this, and it's a very unique soundtrack because it does consist of several different songs that we all know and love. However, one of the things that I have to point out almost every single time that we talk about PhilharMagic with music is I do not think I will ever hear Part of Your World without hearing Donald go, yoo-hoo, at Ariel at the one line, just because that's what he does in the show. And it just, every time I hear that song now, I hear Donald yoo-hooing at her. Going up against it is another very unique one because this actually started off as an attraction, but with that attraction, it then turned into a soundtrack for movies as well. We are talking about Pirates of the Caribbean. It started off with a simple yo ho, a pirate's life for me. And as we took that Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack, it evolved into the 5 Pirates of the Caribbean films. And all of those are mainly instrumental songs, but all of those are amazing instrumental songs, which brings us to our second vote of the evening. Which one do you want to have move on to our next round? Mickey's PhilharMagic or Pirates of the Caribbean, both the attraction and the film? Throw your votes into the comments starting right now. You've got 90 seconds. PhilharMagic against Pirates of the Caribbean. Both of them are great. This sneeze, I can feel it there, but it doesn't want to come out to play. Both soundtracks are amazing. I think I know which one I do know which one I would choose. Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. Okay, you guys have about 30 seconds left to throw your votes out there. This is turning into a complete surprise right now. We do have about 5 people who are watching, according to my little number counter here, that are not voting. So if you're one of those 5 people, I would vote, because there's a huge chance that the thing that you might want to move forward will not move forward because you did not vote. Ooh, the sneeze. Your vote. We're going to give you guys 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we got 1 vote for Pirates, 2 votes for Pirates, 3 votes for Pirates, 1 for PhilharMagic, 2 for PhilharMagic. We are tied with 3 for PhilharMagic and 4 for PhilharMagic. PhilharMagic shockingly wins that round. I did not think. I thought for sure Pirates of the Caribbean was going to win. I am completely blown away. I'm really blown away. Okay, we need... I can't believe PhilharMagic made it to the Sweet 16. It's a Cinderella story, people. Mickey's PhilharMagic. Okay, I need 2 numbers between the numbers of 1 and 8. Is it 6? 1 and 6. 1 and 6. 2 numbers between 1 and 6. Throw your votes in there, starting right now. Boo! I'm shocked too. I would have voted for Pirates. As much as I love PhilharMagic, I would have voted for Pirates. All right, we got number 3. Number 3 is going to be going up against number 1. 3 against 1 is going to be our next round here. Ooh. To me, this is a very easy vote, but I thought the last vote was going to be an easy vote, and you guys blew me away. So let's get this started. We're going to start off back in the 1990s, where we had a very unique film that came out that was produced by Disney, but not completely done by Disney, but also kind of done by Disney. But let's explain. The Nightmare Before Christmas. The Nightmare Before Christmas was a film that was experimental in pretty much every way, shape, and form. And it told the story of Jack Skellington going off to figure out what Christmas was and how he could be the brand new Santa Claus. Along the way, of course, we have to talk about the soundtrack, because that is our main theme of this evening. We had a lot of great songs, including, what's this? What's this? There's something in the air. What's this? What's this is probably the most signature song that we know in there. But we also have Go and Get Santa Claus, take it away. I just love the la 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 la. And then we have the Oogie Boogie song, I'm the Oogie Boogie Man. Oh yeah. I'm the Oogie Boogie Man. Going up against the Nightmare Before Christmas is something that is focused completely around music. While Nightmare Before Christmas is not completely focused on the soundtrack, this other one, that's it. Tie up the Santa Claus, stuff him in a bag. That's the line. The Nightmare Before Christmas worlds, are one of my favorite worlds in Kingdom Hearts. We were voting for the underdog and also seeing how hard it would be to text the word PhilharMagic. Oh, that makes sense. Going up against The Nightmare Before Christmas is an entire movie that is focused completely around music. So obviously it has to have an amazing soundtrack. And yes, it does. I am talking about the classic I don't know if I can say classic because it's so new, but I would say it's a classic film already called Coco. Coco has so many amazing songs like Un Poco Loco, which we mentioned earlier when we were talking about Mickey's PhilharMagic, but it also has a few other songs in there that just blow people away, including the always amazing Remember Me. Now, in the film, we don't just have Remember Me, but we also have another song called Remember Me, and we also have another song called Remember Me. That's right, there are 3 different versions of the exact same song in this film. However, it's amazing how they can have the same song, same lyrics, but a different tune, different melody, different feeling behind every single one that helps propel the story forward. And that is going to bring us to our third vote of the evening. Which one would you like to have move on to the Sweet 16? Is it the Nightmare Before Christmas soundtrack or the Coco soundtrack? You've got 90 seconds to throw your votes in, starting right now. Tie up the Santa Claus, stuff him in a bag. Nya, 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 na, 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 na. Oh, you've never seen Coco? As soon as this episode is over, I need you to go watch Coco. The music for Coco is some of the best music that's ever been. There's a lot of votes for Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm kind of getting blown away right now because I feel like I'm still shocked that PhilharMagic moved on over Pirates of the Caribbean, but we'll see. You guys have 30 seconds left to vote. We still have a few people who have not voted yet. We're going to give you guys a few, well, not a few seconds. We're going to give you like 20 seconds now to throw your votes in. See, because I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I really don't know what's happening. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we got 1 vote for Nightmare Before Christmas, 1 vote for Coco. It is a tie. Coco, so that's 2-1. Nightmare Before Christmas, 2-2. Since you've never seen Coco, Nightmare Before Christmas, so that's a 3-2. 4-2. Nightmare Before Christmas in the lead. 4-3, 4-4. I am the tiebreaker. I'm not even. I'll go through like a little speech and everything else like that. I'm not doing it because the Coco soundtrack is amazing. It's one of the best soundtracks that has ever been done by Disney or Pixar. I absolutely love the soundtrack. Coco is moving on to our next round. I like Nightmare Before Christmas, but I don't think the soundtrack is worthy of going into the Sweet 16. No offense to anyone who voted for Nightmare Before Christmas, but just Coco. Oh, the Coco soundtrack's so good. Remember me, though I hate to say goodbye. Okay, we are down to 4 to get into the Sweet 16 that are still trying to get in there. I need 2 numbers between 1 and 4. First 2 numbers to pop up will be going head to head against one another. Yeah, I've seen your comments about Nightmare Before. I just don't like the Nightmare Before Christmas soundtrack. I just don't think it's as good. It's like the songs are okay. They're good songs, but when you put it next to Coco, Coco just has such great songs. It's such a good soundtrack. Right now, we only have the number 2. So 2, 2, 2, 2. We need 1 more number against 2. This will also be determining what our next 2 things are being determined right now here. And then we also have number 4. So 2 against 4. So let me get that down there. And then we're going to get number 1. Okay. We've got our next 2 matchups set up here, and these are going to be some doozies. So let's start off with our one that was number 2 against number 4. Starting off, number 4. This is I made it very clear that there's one that I'm surprised made it to the top 32, and we'll see if it continues to get into the Sweet 16 here. Critter Country. slash Bayou Country. Now, the Critter Country slash Bayou Country is going to be the soundtracks for Tiana's Bayou Adventure, along with the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh. In both of these, just for those people who've never been to Critter Country or Disneyland before, they don't go through every single song that is found inside of the movies. In fact, if you go to Tiana's Bayou Adventure, we've got Going Down the Bayou, and then we also have a new original song, and that's about it for there. And then over at the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, we've got, which ones? We got Rain, 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 Rain came down, 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 and rushing, rising rivulets. And that's it. Those are the only 3 songs that can be found in the Critter Country. All good songs, but at the same time, a pretty limited soundtrack that can be found in the land. Going up against the Critter Country soundtrack is a soundtrack that most people have probably heard of at least once or twice in their life because it's a pretty good soundtrack. I'm talking about, well, what's the best way to put this? Like, I'm just trying to figure out the right word for it. I know the right word. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, Mary Poppins soundtrack is one of the most iconic soundtracks that Disney has ever created. In the soundtrack, we've got things like Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, A Spoonful of Sugar, Walt Disney's personal favorite song, Feed the Birds, one of my favorite songs, A Man Has Dreams. There are so many different songs that can be found in the soundtrack for Mary Poppins that it just kind of blows me away that every single one of these songs was written by just 2 people in a very short span of time. Of course, these 2 people were the Sherman Brothers, and they won an Academy Award for Chim Chim Cheree. We also have Step in Time and I Love to Laugh. Loud and long and clear. And now it's time for your voting right here. Okay, you guys have 90 seconds to vote between the Critter Country soundtrack or the Mary Poppins soundtrack. Start those votes starting right now. It will be the true shocker of the evening if Critter Country somehow pulls off this win. I will be shocked, and I will probably just shut down the podcast forever because it would just be shocking if we had Mary Poppins lose to Critter Country. But who knows? We might have the Critter Country fan base out there right now, and they're probably like, hey, you know what? I want to vote for Critter Country. You guys have about 40 more seconds to throw your votes in, even though I'm pretty sure you don't need those whole 40 seconds. But just in case someone out there is like calling the Critter Country hotline right now going, beep, 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 beep. Ladies and gentlemen, listen. There's a vote going on right now over at Brent Dodge's YouTube channel. Critter Country is in trouble. We need to save Critter Country. Yes, everyone sign on right now. Vote for Critter Country. Otherwise, I will destroy all of you. Beep. So just in case that person's out there doing that right now, we're going to give them 5 more seconds out there. Remember, we're just voting on the soundtrack. We're not voting on the movie itself, even though Dick Van Dyke is amazing in this. And he's got some great parts. Chim Chim Cheree is a great song. Chim Chimney, Chim Chimney, Chim Chim Cheree. When you're with a sweep, you're in glad company. Now it is time for us to tally up votes. So let's all go out there and buy some big boats. Mary Poppins, 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 Mary Poppins. And don't forget that Mary Poppins wins in a complete blowout. No offense to Critter Country. I bid you farewell. Okay, let's throw Mary Poppins in this empty spot here. I accidentally spelled it Mary Poopins. Okay, before we go on to our final one to get into the top 32, I'm just curious because I kept on looking at this list the other day, and I was like, I do not know how Critter Country made it through the first round, but somehow it did. It went against Wish the movie. Maybe it was just because not enough people have seen Wish. So I make this wish. I think Wish has an amazing soundtrack. Okay, let's move on to our final matchup in the top 32 to get into the Sweet 16. And this one, I think, could probably be the most difficult decision for some people tonight. I could be wrong. I think I'm 99% positive I know which one's going to win, but at the same time, I think both these soundtracks are amazing. So let's start off with one that we kind of mentioned when we talked about Critter Country. Deep in the 100-acre woods where Christopher Robin plays. That's right, we're talking about Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh is one of the most iconic movies of all time. It was an iconic book series before that, and overall, the character of Winnie the Pooh is just beloved by so many. Part of the reason that is because the music that is found in Winnie the Pooh, done by the Sherman Brothers, who also did Mary Poppins, the music that they did for the film, well, technically it was actually 3 short films, and then it became a package film in 1977, and they would eventually have other TV shows, and then it would eventually become another movie. Anyways, complete side note. But the music that they did for The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, which came out in 1977, were some of the best written songs that Disney ever had. We had Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. And then, of course, we had things like I'm just a little black rain cloud hovering above the honey tree. In addition to that, we have and the rain, rain, rain came down, 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 and rushing, rising rivulets. There are so many classic songs, and of course, the wonderful thing about Tiggers is Tiggers a wonderful thing. Their tops are made of the rubber, their bottom are made of the springs. They're bouncy, trouncy, flouncy, flouncy, fun, 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 fun. The most wonderful thing about Tiggers is I'm the only one. I'm the only one. Hoo-hoo-hoo. Going Up Against Winnie the Pooh and all of those classic songs is a movie that has a darker tone to it. However, that does not mean that the music is not all amazing. Of course, we were talking about the 1996 film Hunchback of Notre Dame. Boom, come one, boom, come all. There are so many great things like Topsy-Turvy Day. On the 4th of January, Topsy-Turvy Day. I'm trying to blank on the words right now. We have Topsy-Turvy Day. We have Out There, somewhere beyond the sun. No, sun. Oh, wait, no, I'm drawing a blank on the words. Oh my gosh. I need to watch Hunchback of Notre Dame. There's a lot of really good songs there. I love Out There, though. Out There is one of those songs that it continues and goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And it starts with like this very small, intimate song, and then eventually becomes this massive masterpiece. There are so many great songs inside of Hunchback of Notre Dame. But like I said, it is a darker tone of a movie, but at the same time, that does not mean the soundtrack is not complete banger after banger. And that is going to bring us to our final vote to get into the Sweet 16. Which one of these soundtracks do you want to have move on to the next round? The Hunchback of Notre Dame soundtrack or the Winnie the Pooh soundtrack? You've got 90 seconds to throw your votes in, starting right now. I do like that line. So Gopher, just the side fun fact, Gopher does point out Gopher is not in the book, and in the movie he says, I'm not in the book, you know. He's the only character in the movie that was actually created specifically for the movie. I feel like my arguments for Hunchback of Notre Dame did not do it justice. Because honestly, between these two, I think I would actually vote for Hunchback of Notre Dame. Because I really like the music for Hunchback of Notre Dame. But at the same time, I do like the music for Winnie the Pooh. But between the two, I kind of feel like I would vote for Hunchback over the other. Okay, you guys still have about 30 seconds left to throw your votes out there before we move on to the Sweet 16. Oh, yeah. There we go. We got a few more votes coming in. We still have quite a few people actually, that are watching that are not voting. So if you're one of those people and you're like, well, I like Hunchback of Notre Dame, why isn't that moving on? Because you're not voting. So vote. Okay, let's do this. We got 1 for Pooh, 1 for Hunchback of Notre Dame, 2 for Pooh, 3 for Pooh, 4 for Pooh. It's a 4-1 vote right now. 5-1, 5 to 2, 5 to 2 vote. We had a lot of people who actually did not vote that time around, but Winnie the Pooh is moving on to our next round here. Okay, let's throw that down here. And oh, nope. Hit the wrong button. Oh no. Okay. Wait a minute. This is we're just trying to okay, we got things set up for the next round. Okay. We are going into round 3 here. Ding ding. Okay, we are starting off with 16. We are trying to get down to 8. Tonight we are probably going to get down to about 3 or 4, I'm thinking, rounds here or battles here. So let's start us off. I need 2 numbers between the numbers of 1 through 16. First 2 numbers to pop up will be going head to head against one another. And these are pretty good soundtracks that we have left here, people. The Sweet 16 is going to be a very amazing place that some good soundtracks are going to be falling by the wayside. We got number 1 and number 16 are the first 2 to pop up here. 1 and 16 are going to be our first ones going head to head. Oh, man. And what a matchup it is. Holy cow. Oh, wait. 1 versus 16. You guys chose it. It's what we're doing. Oh, wait. Let's start us off in the year 1991. In 1991, we got a movie that not only was so iconic that it was the first animated film ever to be nominated for an Academy Award, but it also won an Academy Award for a little song called Beauty and the Beast, ironically the same name as the film. Beauty and the Beast has a soundtrack filled with amazing songs from start to finish. We got things like, obviously, Beauty and the Beast. We got things like Be Our Guest, Be Our Guest. We got Little Town. It's a quiet village every day, like the one before. And then in addition to that, we got things like, oh, wait, I'm trying to think of the first line of the song. Gosh, it disturbs me to see you, Gaston, looking so down in the dumps. Every guy here loved to be you, Gaston, even when taking your lumps. There's no man in town as admired as you. You're everyone's favorite guy. And then, of course, Something There. Just throw off one other song. Something There, which is another great song. Overall, from start to finish, Beauty and the Beast is close to the most perfect soundtrack that Disney's ever done. However, going up against Beauty and the Beast is another soundtrack that people will often say is one of the most perfect soundtracks that Disney's ever done. Because 8 years after we got Beauty and the Beast, we also got a soundtrack done by Phil Collins featuring songs like Come Stop Your Crying, It'll Be All Right, Just Take My Hand, Hold It Tight. That's right, Tarzan. Tarzan has incredible songs, again, from start to finish. Things like You'll Be in My Heart, Son of Man, Trash in the Camp, and so many others. It is just another one of those soundtracks that is completely on fire, as the kids would say. So that is going to bring us to our first vote in the Sweet 16. This is to get into the Elite 8. Which one would you like to have move on to the next round? Is it Beauty and the Beast soundtrack or the Tarzan soundtrack? You've got 90 seconds to throw your votes out, starting right now. I think this is a tough one. Like right now, I am hoping that it doesn't come down to a tiebreaker that I have to vote for, because I honestly do not know which one I would vote for. I'm completely honest here right now. I really don't know which one of these two I like better. I like both. I like both movies a lot. I think I like Beauty and the Beast better as a movie, but I think as a soundtrack, I think Tarzan might be my winner. Now we're gonna see. I'm just hoping that you guys vote for one of them, so I don't have to worry about this. You guys have still 30 seconds left to throw your votes in. We do have a lot more people who are watching right now. We are doing a battle royale, trying to figure out what you guys think is the best Disney soundtrack of all time. We're going round by round right now. It is between Beauty and the Beast and Tarzan to get into the Elite Eight. You guys have 15 seconds left to throw your votes out there. So if you are one of those people out there who just joined us, because we just had a massive number of people who joined us, if you're one of those people who just joined us, please make sure to throw your vote in, have your vote counted, and see what happens. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got one vote for Tarzan, one vote for Beauty and the Beast. That's a 1-1 vote. Top 3 Disney soundtracks: Beauty and the Beast, Tarzan, and Princess the Frog. So wait, Eric, which one do you vote for? Are you voting for Beauty? Oh no, okay. I see your vote down here. Okay, 2-1. Tarzan's in the lead. 2-2. We have a tie. 3-2. Beauty and the Beast in the lead. 4-2. 5-2. 5-3. 6-3. And we have a lot of people who did not vote on that one. But Beauty and the Beast did get the most amount of votes there. Beauty and the Beast is moving on. Okay, I need 2 numbers from you guys between the numbers of 1 through 14 to randomly select which one is moving on to our next battleground here. 2 numbers, first 2 numbers pop up between 1 and 14. 1 and 14. We are slowly getting down to the end here. Number 6 was the first one to pop up, and number 14 was the next one to pop up. 6 and 14. Let's see where our next head-to-head is. Ooh. Okay. Let's get rid of that one there. Ooh, I accidentally deleted the wrong one. Okay. We just talked about one of these, so we're not going to go into too much detail about this one, but just to start us off with it, is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That's right. We're going to start off with Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins was randomly selected here as our number 6. And Mary Poppins, of course, has so many classic songs, from Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Spoonful of Sugar, Helps the Medicine Go Down, It's a Jolly Holiday with Mary, A Man Has Dreams of Walking with Giants, Feed the Birds, Tuppence a Bag, and a lot of others. Going up against Mary Poppins, which we already talked about, so we're not going to go into any more detail about it right now, is a song, or I'm sorry, not a song, a soundtrack that doesn't have a lot of songs, but it does have a few iconic songs. And that, of course, is the Aristocats. Which cats are best, the finest pedigree? Which cats are the best pedigree? No, that's so we get songs like Everybody Wants to Be a Cat, 'cause the cat's the only cat who knows where it's at. And that's about it. It always bothered me when Marie goes, "Rinky dinky dinky." Anyways, let's get to the vote. Mary Poppins or the Aristocats, because I'm pretty sure I know which one this is going to do after Mary Poppins completely shut out the Critter Country soundtrack earlier. I'm curious, will Mary Poppins completely shut out the Aristocats as well? You've got 90 seconds. Throw your votes in there. Or we'll just watch a complete... Mary Poppins is going to be having the police at her door pretty soon for murder if she keeps on knocking all these things here. It's Mary Poppins or the Aristocats. Simple vote. Easy vote. I feel like it's a pretty easy vote. I think you guys think it's an easy vote too, but not many people are voting right now. So maybe people are like, wait a minute, Do I go back and rewatch Aristocats right now and figure out if that's the best one? If you do, you only got 30 seconds to do so. So you better find the best parts of the Aristocats to figure this out. The Aristocats soundtrack is a very small soundtrack. Okay, we're gonna give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mary Poppins, Mary Poppins, Mary Poppins, Mary Poppins, Mary Poppins, Mary Poppins. You get the dress, but we do have. I'm gonna give the Aristocats some love, even though Mary Poppins will win. So Mary Poppins does win. It almost has a shutout, but it does have. Oh, whoa! I hit the wrong button there. But it does have it so it almost shut out the other, but it did not quite. Okay. A man has dreams of walking with giants. We have two numbers that I need. I'm sorry, lost my train of thought there. We need our next two numbers between the numbers of 1 through 12. First two numbers to pop up in the chat room will be going head to head against one another this evening. Which two would you like to have go head to head against one another? Oh, there's some good soundtracks out here. I feel like almost every single one of these has potential to win the whole tournament. 7 against 3. 7 versus 3 is going to be. Oh, this is going to be a tough one, people. I say that a lot. But this is going to be a tough one because if you have kids, I feel like you might go for one of them. But if you also grew up in my era, you're going to go for the other one, but then at the same time you might love the. Okay, let's talk about it. We don't talk about Bruno, no. We don't talk about Bruno, but it was my wedding day. Encanto is one of those soundtracks that it's just so catchy. It took the entire world by storm, much like Frozen did as well. But it completely took the world by storm because every single song in this film is an amazing song. The Family Madrigal is amazing. Surface Pressure is an amazing song. Every single song in here is just a great song from start to finish. Very well written, very catchy, and every single one of them helps propel the storyline further into what we need to know about every single character. And yes, we don't talk about Bruno, but at the same time, we do sing about him quite a bit around here. Going up against Encanto and Bruno and Mirabel and all of those other great characters in the Family Madrigal, we have a soundtrack that helps us remember exactly where we need to be. Got to keep one jump ahead of the bread line, one jump ahead of the flock. I think I'll take a stroll around the block. Aladdin. In the movie Aladdin, we've got one jump ahead. We got you've never had a friend, never had a friend, never had a friend, never had a friend. You ain't never had a friend like me. In addition to that, we've got just simple songs like Arabian Nights. And then, of course, the classic, the one that won the Academy Award for Best Song, A Whole New World. A new fantastic point of view. It's time for you guys to throw your votes out there. Which one would you like to move on to our next round? Is it going to be Encanto, a new classic, or Aladdin, an older classic? You get 90 seconds to throw those votes out there starting right now. Both of these are great soundtracks. Prince Ali, fabulous he. I'm curious. I kind of feel like I'm like, for me, I grew up with Aladdin. Aladdin came out when I was 8 years old. I vividly remember seeing it in theaters. But Encanto is a great song too. I remember seeing that. My first time was on the Disney Dream. It was the first time I ever saw that one. Both of them amazing soundtracks, though. I love both soundtracks. And I would be perfectly happy with whichever one moves on to the next round. Whichever one you guys put on to the next round, As long as I don't have to make a tie and kill something off, we'll see. All right, we're gonna give you 3 more seconds. 2, 1, because I went over time. Encanto, Aladdin. Right now it's a 2-1 vote, 3-1 vote, 4-1 vote, 4-2. Got to go with classic Aladdin. 5-2, 6-2. Aladdin will be moving on to the next round here. Aladdin wins. Okay, let's throw Aladdin at this number in our Elite 8. Oh, we probably only have time for maybe 1 more, maybe 2 more, depending on. This might be our last one unless we get another subscriber. I haven't checked my numbers yet. So if we're up to 8,403, we'll be moving up. I need 2 numbers though between the numbers of 1 and 10. Throw those numbers out there, starting right now. Prince Ali, fabulous he, Ali Ababa, strong as 10 regular men. All right, number 4 against number 10. 4 against 10 is going to be our next lineup here. Ooh, oh. All right, number 4 against number 10. Let's do this thing. We talked about one of these earlier, so we're not going to go into too much detail about it, but I'm just a little black rain cloud hovering above a honey tree. Winnie the Pooh. The Winnie the Pooh soundtrack is filled with so many classic songs, so many classic lyrics. I absolutely love things like Winnie the Pooh, Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. Fluffy little stuffy, all stuffed with fluff. He's Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh just has a great soundtrack, but we talked a little bit about it earlier, so let's go on to the head-to-head challenge that it's going up against. Going up against it is something that helps transport you into a specific location, because everything that is found in our Sweet 16, for the most part, is based off of a movie. However, there are a few here that are still based off of theme park experiences, including this one right here. This one is more basic. It's more simple. It's more classical music. It's more welcome to Disneyland or welcome to the Magic Kingdom. We're talking about the welcome music at Disneyland and the Magic Kingdom. It's pretty much the same. In here, we've got classic instrumental versions of all different types of classic Disney songs, including things like Winnie the Pooh. That's one of the songs that's actually found on there. In addition to that, we've got bum 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 bum. The second saw to the right. It's all the instrumental versions of some of the most iconic Disney songs of all time. And it's one of those things that truly transports guests, especially if they've never gone to a Disney park before, that you are still at something familiar by having classic Disney songs playing in the background, but also having it so it's kind of a different tune, and it helps transport the guest from everyday USA to the middle of the greatest theme park experience that they'll ever have in their life. And that is going to bring us to our next vote here. Which one do you want to move on? Would you like the Winnie the Pooh soundtrack to go on, or would you like the Disneyland / Magic Kingdom Esplanade music or the entrance music to go on instead? You've got 90 seconds to throw your votes out, starting right now. No, we don't talk about Bruno. We'd never talk about Bruno. The welcome music is just, it's so iconic. Like, I understand if Winnie the Pooh wins, but there's just something about walking into the park and hearing that the songs that you know and love, and it just kind of transports you to the park. I think that's one of those things that Disneyland and just all the parks just do such a good job of. Is, can you imagine walking through the park with no music? It just helps. Oh, it helps transport you right to the park. Okay, we're gonna give you guys. We got about 30 seconds left to throw your votes in here. I kind of feel like that we're. This one looks like a runaway. I see a few votes for one person or one soundtrack, but overall, it's a runaway. Okay, we're gonna give you a 5, 4. Oh, wait. Okay. But while you guys get a little extra one, I love the music at Epcot. So the Epcot music, when you first walk into the park, this is actually a really cool little detail. It was written by this composer a few years ago when like the entire front part of the park went through this like massive refurbishment, and she grew up as a huge Epcot fan, and so she wrote music that she felt like embodied the spirit of old school Epcot, and that's why all the music when you walk in is just such great. I mean, it's great music, and it truly makes you like transport back to the olden days of Epcot. Okay, let's do our count here for the vote. We have welcome music, 2-1. Winnie the Pooh's got a vote there. 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, 7-1, 8-1. And I love the music they play on the buses. Those are pretty good too. I just never really experienced it because I live 2 minutes away, so I just drive myself. I still love those Tapestry of Dreams, yes, but we are going through in Disneyland Esplanade / Magic Kingdom entrance music is moving on to the next round here. Entrance music wins. Okay. You should check out the best of country, sing the best of Disney. I will. I definitely will. Okay, but we are almost wrapped up for our time here, so I don't think we're going to have enough time unless we get a new subscriber. We started off at 8,402 subscribers, and we were at 8,402 subscribers. Okay, so it looks like that might have been our last vote. Hey there, Thomas. How you doing, buddy? It looks like that might be our last vote of this evening. However, as always, tonight's episode was sponsored by our super duper, our amazing, our always wonderful Patreon pals. Patreon pals. Give us an oh yeah. If you're one of our Patreon pals out there, give us an oh yeah in the chat room. Thanks to our Patreon pals for making tonight's episode possible. Before we continue going out of this thing tonight, I would like to remind you guys that we do have a new book out, A Closer Look at the Animal Kingdom's Dinoland USA. It is filled with almost 200 pages of fun facts, details, backstory, history, and all that other fun stuff that you have never heard about. Well, maybe you've heard of some of it, but you've probably never heard of a lot of it. So if you want to order that, go check out my Etsy page and order your copy now. Or you can go get it on Amazon over on your Kindle, or if you have the Kindle app, go order it now. Also, thank you everyone out there for joining us. I hope all of you guys had a great time. We will see you on Saturday for our Saturday in the Park. Until next time, remember that anything can happen if you let it. Until next time, have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Bye-bye now. Goodbye. Are they gone? Are they gone? Oh, good. My cheeks are just killing me. I can't stand this kind of pressure. Jim.